Hey YouTube, hey Anchor listeners, it's your man Carr once again. Uh, on YouTube, that's Who Asked You Carr, and on Anchor, it's the same. Who Asked You Carr? Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications button for when I make new videos or what have you, and you can hit me on Twitter at DCarrisLegend. Been wanting to talk about this particular subject for a long time. Let's just get right to it. Hip hop. Where do I start? I became a fan of hip hop. Columbus Day weekend, 1979. I remember it well. It was a Monday. I was downtown Brooklyn with my mother, my aunt, my cousin, my two brothers. We were on Fulton Street. It's when you could drive on Fulton Street in both directions. And I heard this song. And the song was called, what was it called? Rapper's Delight. And I was like, oh snap, what is it was crazy. It was like these dudes was just saying something that was just talking directly to me, but at the same time, it seemed like it was almost like seeing an alien. I was like, damn, this can't be real. This can't be real. Well, anyway, I always liked this. So I was had to be about 11, 12, something like that. But yeah, that's when I fell in love with hip hop, and that moment right there, because then and you can say whatever you want to say, and I'm talking directly to the old heads. So this is Kool Herc, Grandmaster Caz, Bambaataa. I have nothing but respect for those dudes because they are the forefathers of this thing called hip hop. But let's just keep it all the way 100. Sylvia Robinson saw something in Hank, Master G, and Wonder Mike. Those dudes were stars. And Big Bank Hank, may he rest in peace, he may have stolen Grandmaster Caz's rhymes. Because for years it was said like all of them stole his rhymes. No, it was Hank. But you guys were nice with the pen, but they were the stars. You all weren't, because Grandmaster Flash and them end up getting signed. But the star in that group was Melly Mel. Because it seemed, and like Grandmaster Flash, he was a star on his own, but he spun records or whatever. But Melly Mel was actually the star in that group. So let's just keep in mind that if not for, and although Sylvia Robinson robbed Sugar Hill Gang and probably robbed a lot of artists, because she came through that era where she got robbed. A lot of black artists got robbed, so she figured, well, I'm black. It's better for me to rob them than the white man to rob them, which I think is stupid, but that's neither here nor there. Let's keep it all the way real. If it wasn't for the Sugar Hill Gang and them having international success and selling the amount of records they sold off that one single, we wouldn't have this thing. Hip-hop wouldn't be where it is today, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Now, I'm what I like to call a 85 through 98 representative. You know what I'm saying? So that goes back to, and all that's really saying is lyrics. I come from the school because, like I said, Kool Moe Dee, Grandmaster Caz, and the Cold Crush Brothers, the Treacherous Three, Spoonie G, all these dudes, they had party rhymes, but they were lyrical. They were nice. And the bridge between that first class and then that second wave was Run DMC. Run DMC was the bridge. Okay, so, and they were old school enough, but they had a new kind of style, but like I said, they were the bridge. They were the bridge for the next wave, which would be the golden era, which was really when I was coming into my own. That would be Kane, Big Daddy Kane, LL, KRS-One, Slick Rick, Just Ice, MC Light, Latifah, the Jungle Brothers. Uh, Even though I'm not gonna front, to me, but she was a pioneer in her own sense. But to me, Roxanne Shante was corny. But that's me. She, it wasn't nothing fly by her raps or nothing like that. But you know, to say she was 14 years old, so that had to be what, 84? No, 84, 85. She was 14 years old. For her, like, I won't even. Her voice was whack to me. Let's put it like that. Her voice was whack to me. But she did, like, after that initial Roxanne record, Roxanne's Revenge, she had a couple of joints that I liked. But initially, I'm not going to front. She was just garbage to me. She was garbage. And I said all that to say this. But, you know, even the worst lyricist in New York at the time was better than anybody else. Like, if you thought, and we got to keep in mind, New York was the only game in town anyway, so it didn't matter what was going on outside of that. But now, you know, we come into a phase, and I say this to everybody. Now we come into a phase like it's 88, 89, and you know, still on the West Coast, I mean on the East Coast, you got Heavy D, you got Kane, like I said, you got LL, you got Slick Rick, you got Tribe Called Quest, you have the Jungle Brothers again, KRS. We haven't quite gotten to Biggie and Wu-Tang and those guys yet. But if you notice, every one of those guys that I mentioned, they had they had their own style. And not only did they have nobody sounded alike, they all represented what was going on at the time. You know, in the case of Eleanor Bumpers or, you know, Yusuf Hawkins, you know, there was always some kind of movement to mention, you know, being black and being proud, you know what I'm saying? But then in 88, 89, you got these dudes on the West Coast. They trying to come into the forefront. And I remember being at Shaw University, and the first time I saw MC Hammer, I'm like, yo, who is this Bama? He just looked, he was on TV dancing hard, Let's Get It Started or something. And he's just dancing mad hard, looking mad musty. And I'm like, yo, look at this dude, man. He's mad corny. Because I'm looking at it from the perspective that I'm a New Yorker. These dudes are whack. You bugging, you bugging. Then, next thing I know, I hear this song, Fuck the Police, and I'm like, well, who are these Bamas? You know what I'm saying? And anybody that say they didn't say these same things, they lying. If you from New York and you was 20, 21, 22 years old at the time, and you saw NWA, and you telling me that you saw off the rip that these dudes was hard, no, you lying. You're lying. Because you didn't. You said the same thing I said. You was like, yo, who are these Bamas? Who are these dudes with Jerry curls? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until, because I know me and my friends, and if they see this video, they say, yo, D lying. I don't be like, no, you lying, because you know we used to crack jokes on these dudes. But what I would come to understand later, because I didn't think about it in terms in the way that I end up thinking about it. New York, hip hop was born here. New York had a culture around it. Hip hop, in essence, was created to get rid of the gangs and limit some of the gang strife at the time that was going on in the 70s, in the early 70s. Because I remember being in second grade or something like that, first grade, and I remember this gang in Brooklyn called the Jolly Stompers. They used to hang out there at Lincoln Terrace Park or whatever, and I remember that distinctly. So, you know, when hip hop, so in the scenes before it blew up, you know, these dudes was doing something, because I don't remember a gang being in New York again until, what, 88, 89, when, if you want to call it that, when Dudes just calling each other, calling their crews posses or whatever when the Decepticons and the Lowlives, you know, came about. But I said all that to say this: to us here in New York, you know, initially looking at NWA or anybody outside of New York, we looked at them as corny, like you Bammers, you country, whatever the case may be. But whereas we had a real hip hop culture in LA, they had a gang culture. So that was their hip hop culture, and we didn't understand. I know I didn't understand initially, but fast forward almost a year later, um, especially like right after Ice Cube left NWA, and I had a better understanding um, of their particular culture. I always thought then, and I still think now, that gang shit was corny. It was whack. You know what I'm saying? It's still whack. How you gonna tell a man y'all killing each other over colors and this and that? You know, but you know that's neither here nor there. I thought these dudes, for the most part, was Bammers until um, Ice Cube came out with his first album, and I remember buying his first album, and when I bought it, I became an Ice Cube fan right then and there. My favorite West Coast rapper is Ice Cube. But and then when NWA came out with the because I remember the New Music Seminar, and these dudes got into a fight at the New Music Seminar, so I couldn't wait to see what NWA had to say in response. And I up to that point I wasn't really a fan. You know, I'm like I didn't. But when that album dropped in the summer of 1991, 100 Miles and Running, I mean, that was the EP, Niggas for Life. I became a fan of NWA because I was like, yo, this dude Dre be making some hard beats or whatever. But somewhere along the line, when LA started winning, New York forgot what made us pop to begin with. And that was our originality and our individuality. So now, at this time, when Dre comes out with the Chronic, and then, you know, Dre comes out with the Chronic, then Doggy Style comes out, and Snoop, although I think to a large extent, Snoop he's a cool dude, but he mad disrespectful. He be inviting dudes to his private areas too much. But you too old for that, B. But he's my second favorite rapper from the West Coast. But New York lost its identity because we wanted to be instead of, like I said, our individuality. It was cool that Heavy D didn't sound like Slick Rick. It was cool that Slick Rick didn't sound like LL. It was cool that LL didn't sound like Kane. You know what I'm saying? But this is when the East started falling off. Kane want to be doing videos or books, naked photo shoots with what's her name, Madonna, and then he bought into this Mr. Smooth Daddy, dark chocolate or whatever the bullshit he was calling himself. LL, he goes from Mama Said Knock You Out to his worst album. I think his worst two albums to date. Oh, up to that point was that 14 Shots to the Dome and that Walking with a Panther. That 14 Shots to the Dome was definitely corny because now by this time, everybody on the East want to be hardcore. Everybody want to be a gangster because now they following the lead of LA instead of following what made the East pop. Then you got Biggie. Biggie comes along, you know, but people forget that Craig Mack got Bad Boy popping, not Biggie. Biggie album was out for a minute. I remember seeing Biggie in Empire Skating Ring, and the nigga looked shook, all right? It wasn't until the same thing he had on in that Big Papa video, he had on in the skating ring that night. And it wasn't until after Big Papa started getting some rotation on radio, that's when his album started blowing up. But Craig Mack, put the foundation together for Bad Boy, and it's a shame that he doesn't get respected the way he doesn't get the proper respect that he deserves. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like the ones that stayed true during them early '90s, like Tribe, then you got Wu-Tang coming through, and I'm not gonna front. I was a fan of Wu-Tang Clan. I'm not gonna front. Like that 36 Chambers was dope. My favorite rapper in that group when that Protect Your Neck came out was Raekwon and Meth. You know what I'm saying? That would change. And I just keep it real. It was like ignorance at its best, and it's like at that time I needed a balance. I needed positiveness, and I needed a little bit of ignorance. If I wanted to be positive, I got that from the likes of the Jungle Brothers or Tribe or whatever the case may be. Public Enemy always was dope in my book. But I used to like Wu-Tang until it was when Only Built for Cuban Links came out, and that album was hard. I'm like, out of all the solo projects that was put out by the Wu-Tang Clan, Only Built for Cuban Links and Ghostface first project to me were the dopest. Like, Method Man always had the lyrics, but let's just keep it real. And I'm gonna just keep it real. Both his solo projects, minus the records that played on radio, them shits was garbage. Because I don't know what RZA was thinking. The beat selection on them joints was garbage. But it is what it is. But I stopped my train of thought with them more specifically because Ghost and Raekwon, because at some point I couldn't understand these dudes. They kind of reminded me of RZA, or they just had their own speak. RZA, it sounded like when he rapped, he had marbles in his mouth. I think he was just doing that to make it seem like he had a speech impediment on purpose. It was like he just sounded crazy. And these dudes was teaching you how to cook crack on the back of the Cuban Links album. I'm like, yo, these dudes are crazy, man. I'm like, you just perpetuating a stereotype. But I can't front, Incarcerated Scarfaces, Glaciers of Ice. It was, All I Got Is You. They were hard. These songs were hard. But as ignorant as they could be, they still had the lyricism. You know what I'm saying? And then, Jay came through, DMX came through, and now we get to where we are now, because my generation birthed these rappers that's out here today, these little Yachties, these Uzi Verts, and I didn't think rap could become any more, I didn't think it would get any more ignorant than it had been in the 90s. But this rap in the new millennium is crazy, man. It's like dudes wearing tight clothes where you can see their heartbeats. They got upside down crosses on their head. Everybody want to tattoo their face, look crazy. I'm like, and honestly speaking, there's no lyricism there, and I think that's the problem. I have no problem with dudes getting their money, because that's what you're supposed to do. Rap is a youthful driven music, you know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna try to, I can't, because a lot of these kids they think rap started with Snoop Dogg, or Biggie or Tupac, and then you got some of these millennials that don't respect nobody. Like Tupac been dead for 22 years, and I don't know who this dude is. He about to go to jail for 20 years. Some rapping there. I never heard of this dude before, but now he getting pressed because he going to jail for 20 years for murder or something. Talking about how Tupac was a buster and this and that. And I keep it all the way 100. From the first time I saw Tupac in Juice, I thought he was always in act mode. You know what I'm saying? I always thought he was in acting mode. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a fan. Didn't really particularly care for him in Juice. Didn't care for him in Poetic Justice. I thought he did a good job, a decent job. I didn't become a fan until Me Against the World. You know what I'm saying? And I say all that to say this, just like I wasn't really a fan of Biggie until, honestly speaking, until Warning dropped and One More Chance, the remix, and Who Shot You. I couldn't listen to his first album because I'm like, yeah, this shit is real. Like, it's like I could really see what was going on. It was just too dark for me. It was just super ignorant. But in it all, he was lyrical. Tupac made his contribution to hip hop. And for these young dudes now, if they can't even appreciate, for some, who was it? One of them dudes, Vince Staples or somebody, I don't remember. And if it wasn't Vince Staples, well, I'm not apologizing no damn body. If it wasn't you, it wasn't you. But my thing is, for you to say that, somebody said that Biggie, one of these little non-rapping dudes now said they were better than Biggie and Tupac. That might have been Little Yachty or somebody. And I'm like, and if you really opened your mouth to say that, then you're crazy. So if these dudes didn't respect them, they definitely can't respect the foundation because they don't know anything about the foundation. They don't know who a Grandmaster Caz is. They don't care nothing about who Kool Herc is. They don't care about who Kumo D is or none of these. They don't care. If you couldn't respect a dude from 20 years ago, you're definitely not going to respect one of the elders from 30, 35 years ago. You're just not going to do it. You don't give a damn about what KRS-One talking about. And it's, everybody has this mentality, like, because now you can blow up on the internet. All you got to do is have the right song posted at the right time, and or you ain't even got to have a song now, because I swear I didn't know who a 21 Savage was. I'm like, who is this dude? I just seen a couple of videos on YouTube one time. Then next thing I know, rap. I'm like, then he got a couple of songs. I'm like, yo, so these dudes must be blowing up locally or something. I'm like, who are these dudes? But some of these dudes get it. Some of them don't. I stopped being a fan of hip hop the day Biggie died. You could tell there was a difference. I remember being at Daddy's house the night they were mastering Hypnotize. I remember that, and I just remember the vibe in there being super electric that night. And I'm like, yo, it's crazy to me. So when I think about how this man was like how he must have been feeling like, yo, this gonna change everything and this and that and the other, and then him dying the way he did, I was like, yo, he shouldn't have never been in LA anyway. But I think, and I'm gonna say it, I think today's rap, because that's what it is, not hip hop, is rap. Like I like Drake. I don't know if he gets it or not, but I like Drake. I like J. Cole. I'm not going to say J. Cole to me is like Nas. I can listen to both of their albums maybe once, twice. After that, I gotta cut it off. It's like I can't. Like I just can't. Like this album that J. Cole has out now, I can listen to this repeat all day long. But his previous projects, I can't. It's like I think my favorite Nas album outside of Illmatic was God's God's Son, or whatever the case. The joint with Who Shot? I'm not Who Shot You. They Shooting. Made You Look. And that was that album, and the album that came out in '96. Those three Nas albums. Everything else, I'm like, I can't do it. And for the record, because I saw this on Instagram the other day, AZ had the better verse on Life's a Bitch. His verse was better than Nas. Yeah, but J. Cole is nice. I'm not gonna say Kendrick. Kendrick is cool. Wale of this new generation. I like a couple of his songs, but Wale isn't a star because you're just not a star. I'm like, and it has nothing to do with you not being light skinned because I saw where you said that. You just not it. Some people are stars, some people are not. Papoose is a dope lyricist. He's not a star. Some people gonna make it, some people are not. I'm almost certain there's some mad dudes that Papoose can wrap circles around, but he's not a star. It's just not in the cards for you. I'm like, write some lyrics for somebody. You've been maintaining all this time, and I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying some people just gotta look at it for the obvious. Like I looked at Cardi B when she was on Love and Hip Hop. That's not hip hop, but she's a star, and I said she was gonna be a star because either she got to be the dumbest chick in the world or she got to be the smartest because she exploits her ignorance. Like, but that's her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I don't know how long that can last. I don't know. But like I said, I like Drake. I like J. Cole. I like Kendrick, but like I said, can't listen to his music too much. It bores me after a while. The Migos, I like one or two songs, but they are what you call them mumble rappers. And your man Lil Wayne, he the one who birthed them because when he was doing them auto-tune on one of those, I think it was the Ep.3, seemed like he was biting T-Pain style and using auto-tune on everything. These dudes, so he birthed them because you can't half understand most of that stuff, but then maybe I just don't understand because like I said, it's not for me. I really stopped caring one way about hip hop, and this shit that's out today is not hip hop. It's rap. It's not. It has none of the tenets of hip hop. It's rap, and it's not for me. It's for the younger generation, which are the millennials, and this and this. So I'm cool with that. I have no problem with that. But don't make it seem like dudes are sitting back being bitter. Maybe some of these old heads are being bitter, but for the most part, they just want you to respect what it is they love, which is the foundation and what hip hop really symbolizes, which is the music, the culture, which is the dressing and the graffiti and being a b-boy, the dancing. It's a lot to it. Dudes want to be out here arguing about who created trap music and who created the term trap. I don't give a damn if T.I. or Gucci Mane created it. A lot of it was trash. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it seemed like I won't go. If I need to call somebody whack, I will. But I'm just saying, a lot of this stuff that's out today, like I said, it's not for me. It's not hip hop. It's rap, and let's see where if Cardi doesn't transition into film, let's see where she is a year from now as it relates to her music. Let's see where a little Uzi Vert, or let's see where Migos, or let's see where any of these dudes is popping right now will be 2-3 years from now. It's never going to be a situation where 20 years from now, you're going to hear their music in the club like how you can go to the club right now, hear Slick Rick record, Mona Lisa, or, let's even take it on the R&B side. I don't even know when Before I Let Go by Frankie Beverly and Maze came out. But I know the first time I went to a club, when I turned 21, I know I heard that in the club when I was at 21, and I know if I go to the club right now, a black club or a ski trip or whatever the case may be, they gonna play that song. Like it's like the damn whole party gonna lift up or whatever. Or if they what's that house record? It'll set you free. I remember the first time I heard that song, everybody want to be a club dancer then. Everybody want to be jumping over their feet and this and that, doing splits and this and that and other. You play that record now on a ski trip, they're going to be trying to relive their past or whatever the case may be. But it is what it is. So before anybody, young buckaroos or whatever, make any comments about I'm hating. I'm not hating. I'm just saying you guys are whack in terms of your lyricism. You need to step your lyrics up. Um, everybody can't be a gangster because everybody's not a gangster. Uh, and for people that's saying that the internet killed music, nah, it wasn't the internet that killed music. It was record executives that killed music that was giving that bad deals to everybody because they wanted to capitalize on what was going on. I'm like, nobody in that No Limit movement was hard or dope to me, except for maybe Mystical and the fat dude. I can't think of his name, but you gave Master P a 30 million. I understand you gave him that money. Universal gave him that money because of his grind. They didn't give it to him because of his talent. Because like most of the people that was on that label, to me, was whack. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Mystical, he had already been signed to Jive Records, so he just kind of like transitioned over there. But I can't think of Big Boy named the big dude who was signed to No Limit. He was kind of cool. He was kind of dope. Mia X, I never listened to her, so I can't say she was dope, she was whack, whatever. I never listened to it. You know what I'm saying? Master P, never listened to his records for. He had a couple of joints like. Make it say, although I thought that was so stupid, it was alright. It was cool for the time. He couldn't do that. Well, he probably could do that now. You know what I'm saying? Make a part 2 and sell 1 million records. Who knows? Because the shit that's selling today is type trash. But I don't know. But nobody's hating on you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I didn't like NWA. I thought they was Bamas until I had to realize, But y'all don't even have a culture because you don't respect the culture. You're just looking at it as a way, I just want to get out of my situation. Now, I can appreciate that. But damn, try to make it good because a lot of you dudes are not going to be remembered a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. You're going to be trashed with your little yellow and red hair and your little purple hair and, all you, just respect what came before you. Stop being out here talking about, I wrapped circles around Biggie and Tupac. You would never wrap circles around Biggie and Tupac because they're dead. And even if they weren't dead, you never would. I say it like this, on your wackest New York rapper, on his worst day, nobody that's out today would be better than the worst New York rapper on his worst day. So at their best, they would never be better than he or she at their worst. And that's just real facts. You can go back to groups like the Bad Boys with K-Love, the Fat Boys, and they had like jovial rhymes and everything that they spit at that time in 84 through 88 was hard. So nobody's hating on you cornballs. Get your life together, respect the game, and that's it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications button, and follow me on Twitter at DCarsLegend. And I'll see you next time.